Hey guys, Liana here. This is Wednesday of E3 2015. Again, this is a pre-recorded video done before I left for Los Angeles to give you guys some content and to give you guys a sense of what I'm doing. There may be more stuff up for the stuff I'm doing. Keep an eye on metaleater.com and possibly even CG Magazine. I'm not sure how quickly CGM is going to get the stuff up, but I am there writing stuff for both services. But check those out. But this is the stuff I'm looking at today. Again, I haven't looked at it yet. This is the stuff that's on the schedule for today. First off, first thing in the morning is Forza Motorsport 6. Now, I'll fully admit I'm more of a Forza Horizons fan than a Forza Motorsport 6, just because it's sort of more about community and the stuff around cars and the cars itself. I actually really like cars, and I really like performance cars. I just like the cars physically. I feel a bit distanced from the whole point of performance vehicles in a video game. I understand that it's sort of the best you can get sort of thing. But I mean, Forza is a very respected franchise, and I was getting sort of, I don't care about Forza Horizons when I went in last year, and it ended up really impressing me. So I'm keeping an open mind about Forza Motorsport 6, but this is a sort of thing of you have to be a professional about writing about games and keep an open mind about games you wouldn't play yourself. This is probably the title that fits that definition for me the most at E3. And so what do I look at in car games? Well, because they usually don't let you play it, I tend to look for things beyond graphics, community functions, ease of use, new features, because we know it's going to look good. What else does it do? The next thing I'm going to be looking at is our Melo, and this is a response to user feedback from metaleater.com. We got quite a few people saying we can get AAA coverage anywhere. Look at indie games. And so we've tried to do a good selection of indie games. Obviously, we can't do all of them, but our Melo is one that seems to be, they've got a good publicist on it, and they seem to be really making a good try at it. So I decided to look at it, and you may notice it's furries. I'm kind of partial to anthro games, so I admit that was a selling point, the fact that they're anthropomorphized animals. Don't judge. And I'm not quite sure what this is coming out of the bunnies, but maybe that's something I can find out at the show. After that, I'm going to be changing gears completely and checking out Project Morpheus. Project Morpheus is obviously PlayStation 4's answer to the Oculus Rift. And I admit, this is the machine I'm more excited about just because it'll be less embarrassing to wear it in public. It's going to be one of those embarrassing picture E3s where we're going to have to try this clunky stuff that looks dorky, but this is kind of a cool looking machine. And I mean, Sony, I have found that in terms of hardware, when it does things, it makes quality. What it sometimes has trouble doing is timing things right. They're either too early or too late on that the product launches, meaning either people aren't ready for something and something's too expensive, so it doesn't catch, or they're too late on something like, portable gaming or motion controls. And so the trend has already crested and is on its way to die when they create a perfectly quality piece of hardware. There just isn't the stuff to run on it. And so that's going to be the thing I'm going to be looking for with Project Morpheus, not just how it runs, because I'm assuming it's a Sony product. It's going to run sweet. What have they got to play on it? That's the big thing for me. After that, I'm jumping over to Nintendo. And I have a really, believe it or not, conflicted relationship with Nintendo, and it has nothing to do with the brand itself. Nintendo games are quality, especially from the perspective of level design. They always have been. They have a dedicated core following that goes beyond nostalgia. I can't take that away from Nintendo. What I always have to fight down with Nintendo is the internal grumbling I do that I end up covering Nintendo every year because of the, believe it or not, the girl factor. That, oh, you don't mind, right? Or nobody else wants to do it. You know, the hardcore gamer guys who write about games like, Nintendo. So I end up doing it because Nintendo is the pink gooey-eyed company, right? And that bugs me because I think if people gave Nintendo a shot, you know, okay, it's not all blood and guts, but games don't have to be. And, you know, if you're going to play these indie games, why not play Nintendo? Oh, right, because you have to buy an entirely different console to do it. So that's a little background on me, and that's something that I constantly have to fight, not walking into Nintendo feeling like it's something of a ghetto. And I'm not saying it is. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying that is a perception within my own head that I have to keep in mind and not take that frustration out on Nintendo itself, because that's not fair to them. After that, oh, I am so excited. Bethesda, it's doing its presentation on Battle Cry. And I played this game in alpha last year. Is this a video for those of you who haven't seen it? This game is glorious. The tagline of beauty and brutality colliding, absolutely true. It's Victor Antonov, who did Dishonored, the art direction. Absolutely amazing art style. When you talk about graphics, this is the stuff I'd like to see more of. The idea that it's not just about how many pixels and how many light effects you could shove on a screen. This art says something. And it's astounding. And the game plays sweet in alpha. The class balance was amazing. The maps were ingenious. And it's cosplay baked. The costume designs are cool. And every single one of these character classes, there's a male and female version. They all have little stories. Apparently they're doing comics or something like that for it. But I am just so completely excited. You'd be right if you saw some Team Fortress influence in it. But I like, this is cool, man. It's like this whole standoff, only it's got this like Eastern European thing, because there's classes and then there's factions. It's a really cool world. It's a really cool concept. And it was free to play before. I don't know if it's still gonna be like this, but I'm just indulging myself now. Oh, this is when the cool stuff happens, so I'll let you guys see it. And the game is this fast-paced. Like, this isn't just a trailer. This is actually what they do. And this is, like, even the play styles. That's what you have to do to get at the archers. You have to just charge in and get in close. And then you got, you know, the brawling characters. It's amazing how accurate this trailer is to the experience of playing the game. And I really give them credit for that, because that's unfortunately a rarity in game trailers nowadays. And they actually let a woman get hurt, which I enjoy, because that's politically incorrect now, but it's a form of equality in itself, and you guys know how I feel about that. And that does happen in game. Those beheadings happen. It's sweet. It's a total package, and I'm more excited about this game than I think I am about Fallout 4, just because I have more information on this game. I know what it is. I've set hands on it, and I enjoyed it. So, and this is playable, but I don't know how it's going to work because Bethesda isn't taking appointments this year, but I'm going to claw my way in if at all possible. Last thing I've got on the day is Indiecade. And Indiecade is a unique challenge at E3 because Indiecade is not one thing, it's a bunch of things. And again, covering indie games, first place to go is Indiecade. But I have a unique maybe it's not that unique. I have a very populist taste when it comes to indie games. An indie game has to have, the first thing I zoomed in on is butt-sniffing pugs. That's my level when it comes to indie games. Pug simulation literally enhanced by your ability to run like a dog and sniff butts. Sold. I'll try that. You know, something like, and maybe they won't kill you, a LARP about being poor and black in America. I'm not sure I'll cover that because I'm not sure I can cover that and not get in trouble. I'll probably try it, but no guarantee I'm actually going to offer coverage on it because I'm not black and I don't want to get into wrong skin territory. There are a couple others that piqued my interest here. Earth Primer, I thought was really cool. Discover how our planet works, creating volcanoes, sculpt mountains, and control the force of nature with your fingertips. As a kid, I would think that was really cool. The other one, where is it, that I was really, oh, that looks neat, was, where is it? Tribal and Error. Discover, use, and master an extinct language to help cavemen survive the Ice Age. And first of all, the art style looks cute, just from the little glyph. It looks kind of Invader Zim. But I'm intrigued. The idea that it's language. It's different. And that's what I look for with indie games. It doesn't take indie to make a puzzle game. It doesn't take indie to make a social game. I want to see something interesting and different. And I don't care if something's narrated by Richard Dawkins. And, I don't really care about, doing things with friends or being social, or I almost called it a hot flash. What's it called? Flash mobbing? That's probably an old term by now. I don't care. I want an experience that's fun. And I know people, games don't have to be fun. For me, they do. Life is miserable enough. And the Engaged Spirits of the Dead, I admit, that's up my alley. But, and this one, I didn't see this one before, Wadham. I'll probably be checking that one out too. So that is my Wednesday. That is today for me. And I'll get in as many games as Indie as I can. Those are just my personal favorites based on what looks interesting to me. You guys subscribe to this YouTube channel to find out what I like and my things and be a little, less professional, but people ruin that because they scrutinize everything I say on these videos anyway and not take them for what they are, which is my opinion. But that's going to be my Wednesday at E3, so look for the coverage coming out this week and next, and then I'm going to sleep for a week.